Let's go to some of the individuals we feel have been positives, and pretty much at the top would have to be KL Rahul. I mean, whether or not you expected him to do well, the fact that he did so and got himself a purple patch since August 2019. Have a look at that record of strike rate, 142 and an average just under 50 with 6 half centuries in this short period.
You know, there was a time when the Basra, as we used to call it, used to be 160. We said 160, 165 is good. He's 190. And I think already, if you're a top order player, where your average should be higher, maybe strike rate might be a little lower, I think it should be 175. 175 is just okay for a top order player in the modern game, and he's 190. To my mind, he's the number one bowler, number one player. He's also come on by leaps and bounds. 10 matches ago, he wasn't in the side. So the fact that he's come back strongly. Today, you can't imagine India going out to open the batting, with someone else going out to open the batting in T20 International. So KL Rahul's been a big plus. I'd love to know what's behind it, because he's winning matches from number 5 in one-day cricket. He's winning matches from the top in T20 cricket. Maybe if you do silly interviews, it allows you to introspect and just come out stronger.
Yeah, he seems to, whenever you hear him talk, and obviously there's another side to KL Rahul that you didn't anticipate when he came onto the scene, and that's his sort of fashion avatar. I mean, if someone had told you 3 years ago, one Indian cricketer is going to be on the cover of GQ, would you have guessed KL Rahul ever?
No, KL Rahul wouldn't be the first to come to mind. Mind you, I wouldn't mind him seeing on the cover of Football magazine. He's an avid footballer and plays really well as well. And huge fan of the game as well. But that's the interesting thing, that he's transformed his game, and consistency, the hallmark of players like this is, he always flattered to deceive. He'd get this really fast 100 in the IPL, he'd do really well, get a 15 to 18, 17 balls, and then suddenly he'd disappear. He sort of flowered into a certain sort of consistency, and now definitely, I mean, remember it used to be Rahul Dhawan, who's there, and that debate, at least for now, seems to be settled.
T20 is over. I mean, I know I said silly interview, but sometimes when you do something that you shouldn't, it allows you to introspect, as I said. And so actually, it's a credit that he's come back stronger from a time when he would have been feeling not very happy about life.
Also, he was kind of at the non-strikers end in that interview, in a sense.
Well, to be fair to him, yes, he was. Hardik was on the front foot on that one, yeah.
But let's move on. We did briefly touch on that number 4 when it came to the World Cup. But when it comes to this T20 side, it's pretty much put away number 4, because it's settled, or so we feel, because this man seems to have taken on the mantle and really solidified that, because when you've got the big 3 like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul ahead of you, it's kind of an important position, because there are times when you might be sitting and waiting for your turn. There are other times when you've just got in there unexpectedly.
What I like about this man is, forget about everyone else. This guy, to make it to the international team, had to score a mountain of runs. Yeah. And he got a mountain of runs. You remember the 1300 odd runs trophy season. So he scored the number of runs to get out here, and he got his chances. He finally made it count. And that's what I like about him, that because Bombay cricket, give it Mumbai cricket for whatever it is, it's a grind. You have to score runs, otherwise there are 5 guys waiting for you. I mean, today 5 guys were outside for Bombay. Sarfraz Khan comes and scores a triple century and double century. That's how it operates. So he's come out of that school, and therefore now he's got his chance in the Indian team. The way he's scoring runs, I just love the way he's playing. And again, because he's been captain also of a team when he was very young, whether it's the Delhi Capitals or not, he shows a certain maturity that you don't normally get with a player of his age.
Sarfraz might have scored a second triple as well. Who knows if the covers in Dharamshala hadn't been sent off for another game. Who thought it was going to rain there? But yeah, Shreyas ready. Now, T20, no doubt in my mind, ready. Even more than Manish Pandey, he plays the big shots. So he's ready at 4. We'll wait and see. A little bit work in progress in my mind, just a little bit in ODI cricket. But T20, no issue at all. He's on that flight.
But you've mentioned Manish Pandey, so I guess he could sit next to Shreyas on that flight as well.
I wonder if Manish Pandey has finally discovered either who he wants to be or what the team wants him to be. And if Hardik Pandya comes into the side as well, and I hope he does, because his team is missing that big finisher at 6. So you've got Shreyas at 4, Hardik at 6, then it allows Manish Pandey to be a certain kind of player. The role he's playing now, look, his strike rate is still 141. It's not a strike rate to be trifled with. So if he has Shreyas on one side, Hardik on the other, then number 5 is perfect for Manish Pandey. And the odd day can go up to number 4 as well. So I think he's done more than enough, and he's brilliant in the field. So that's a big plus in an ordinary fielding side at the moment.
Yeah, he's a gun fielder, he's a good boundary rider. I think Manish Pandey, and I've seen him very closely over a couple of seasons, Manish Pandey is what he thinks he wants to be at that point in time. So I genuinely believe that if Manish Pandey tells himself that I'm number 3 and number 3 is a place I can bat, if he convinces himself that, he's a brilliant, because there's nothing in his game that stops him from playing at number 3 or at number 4. It's just here of where he thinks he's comfortable at this point in time.
Maybe he should tell himself I'm comfortable at 5 because he's not getting 3.
He's not going to get
Virat
3 or 4.
He's not getting 3. So maybe he just needs to tell himself I'm happy at 5. I'll play this role at 5.
But you almost answered the question. I was going to come to you. When you did see him at close quarters, what was his mind telling him at that point?
See, he was a very interesting character in the sense that Manish Pandey, for example, he'd come and say, Manish Pandey is normally a garrulous guy. He can speak and he's one of the few cricketers who's happy even talking on the field because he's a very confident fielder, especially in the fielding. And he'd say, today I don't want the mic because today this is not going to happen because today, I'm just going to focus on my batting. And you just had to, there are players who, like Gautam Gambhir is a utter professional. You wake him up at 3 o'clock in the night and send him in the IPL, he'll get 400 runs in a season. It does not matter. Whatever happens, he starts with 4 zeros, he'll get 400 runs. Manish Pandey is a lot of it about where he is in his head. And I think that's why with people like him, you need to focus on saying, okay, what are you comfortable with? This is what you can get. This is 5. Start thinking about it from now. Start thinking from now. And that's why you're absolutely right. He might go and tell Sunrisers, you know what, for India, I'm going to bat at 5. For Sunrisers, I need to bat at number 5 and sort of prepare myself for the World Cup role.